Hello, guys. Hey. I'm so excited that I am back. I am back, guys. So, how have you been? I guess you are good. I myself, I am good. And I'm so excited to be back online. YouTube. YouTube. We are back. So, guys, as you know, siko baya. Things happen and tumekuwa off for so long, and I cannot forget to apologize for that. But right now, expect content now every now and then. Yeah. So guys, I have been reading books, doing research, and I figured, I figured, ooh, I figured out, why not share with you our, historic events, things that changed our lives, and all that. And guys, this channel will be just about hakuna kitu serious sana. Life is never that serious. So tutakuwa tu tukipiga story, just getting to know our history, our how things have changed over time and things like that. So today, guys, I am excited to be sharing with you the history and just all about Titanic ship, the famous Titanic ship. Na mimi nitasema kitu. If you see me referring, I have my notes. Mi siwezi waficha nasoma because it's so much na kushika pia ni ngumu. Yeah. So can we start, guys? Anyway, if you've not subscribed to my channel, my name, in case you're new here, is Esther Kasolia, and I'm excited that you are watching. Thank you. Subscribe and become a family. Yeah, so can we get started? So there is this ship that was called Titanic ship, that was made by someone called, okay, the owner, the company was called the White Star Lines Company. They made the famous, biggest, largest Titanic ship. So this, what do you call it? This ship had three main classes: the first class, the second class, and the third class, of course. Guys, at the time, that is the year 1912. Imagine, kwa first class, there was something we call, not we called, something we call Turkish bath. Mimi yani mpaka wa leo, I don't know what is Turkish bath. Guys, if you know what is Turkish bath, please comment down below and let me know if you ever experienced, na uli experience wapi hata sisi tunaweza taka. Yeah, I know I'm not alone. Yeah, but in life, there was still a swimming pool at the time, gym, and imagine if you are a visitor or a rider or a shipper or a what? By the way, what do you call a passenger who is traveling by ship? Because I don't know. Tell me in our comment section, please, so that we educate each other. Imagine if you traveled in the first class, you had a privilege of being accompanied by a peer, provided sieti wendo unamlipa, kulikuwa na cooks, nurses. That's how prestigious that ship was, the Titanic ship. Yeah, so the second class was not badly off. Kulikuwa na library, private smoking room. I don't know whether they assumed the passengers in the first class don't smoke or whatever reason, I don't know. Yeah, and in the second class, they had their private rooms like za kulala, kona room yako, and I'm assuming for the first class too. Now the third class, it was the last, okay, tuseme tu for the less fortunate. I'm sorry, I don't know the best word to say, but here is what it is. So the third class, people slept in a dormitory like zile za shule. Instead of benches, they seated on the chairs, and makiu kwa third class kulikuwa na inaitwaje, bathtub, separated both for men and women. And another interesting thing for that class, I don't know what they thought. about it, and I think for the people nowadays wanafaa kufanya hivyo for easier identification. So kwa that class, imagine there were single men and women, they were separated so that from a distance unaweza look at someone useme ule ako single, which is a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how the Titanic ship was made. The captain of the Titanic ship was called Edward Smith. The architect, Thomas, is it Thomas by the way or Thomas? You know, people have different pronunciation of this, but for me, it's Thomas Andrews. He was the architect for the prestigious ship. Now, the ship is already done, it's complete, and now it's taking its first maiden trip. This was like to say just a test, like the way you can buy a car and go for a road test. So this was like a test. Eh? So now in the 15th of April 1912, God, it's quite a long time in the way. Not even our grandparents were born anyway. So these the in the night, yeah, was it at night? No, I don't know what the time. No, by then no research shows the time when the Titanic ship started its journey. But what is known, it was 15th, no, 14th April 1912 in the North Atlantic Ocean. So on board were two wireless radio operators. That is Jack Phillips and Harold Bride. Those were people who were in charge of communication in case of anything. So now there were several possible mistakes that could have happened. Now, on 14th April 1912, Edward Smith approached the area that is known for icebergs, like the way we say nowadays, like that area is a black spot or something. The captain approached that area. He did not even mind to change its speed, so he just went on with the speed, knowing that it is a dangerous zone. So Edu, you made a mistake. Now at exactly 9:40 p.m., an iceberg warning was sent to Harold Bride. Remember, Harold Bride is responsible for passing information for passengers who are on board at the time. If they need to know something, he's in charge. So this Bride, Harold, decided to keep the information for himself. Reasons, I don't know. They are best known to himself. Yeah, so between the time 9:40 p.m. to 10:55 p.m., that is close to 1.5 hours later, the Titanic is already surrounded by icebergs. Oh my goodness. What? Another thing, the binoculars were missing. So it was very hard to tell the intensity of the icebergs on Mercury if he had binoculars with himself. By the time the first information came at 9:40 p.m., he could be able to tell how far the icebergs were and maybe direct the captain in good time. Sorry. So now, between the time 10:55 p.m. to 11:40 p.m., the bridge was notified of the presence of an iceberg that was very near actually. Now, the bridge is like a center for their communication where they used to, like, it's central where everyone is sending information and all that. So now the captain, who eventually said the Titanic was unsinkable, not even God could sink it. Oh my God. Not even God could sink it. Now, the ship is already surrounded by icebergs. And what happens now? He was advised to turn left or swap left or whatever you may decide to call it to avoid the collision with the iceberg. But guess what? It was so late. It was late. The iceberg was very near. And so when the captain tried to swap to avoid the iceberg, unfortunately, it collided, it scrapped up the front part of the ship, and the compartments started filling up with water. Oh my goodness. I can imagine the information had only reached those people were in the first and part of the second class. The third class had no idea of what was happening, and probably they were just drinking, piga story huko wakijibamba. Little did they know the danger that is facing them. Now, what happens? Now the real problem began. By the time, not by the time, but at the time the ship hit the iceberg, and it started filling up with water. Remember, the architect of the ship had said even if the first like three, five, or six compartments were filled with water, the ship could still stay afloat. I don't know the mind he had behind that. I don't know the reasoning anyway, but that's what happened. So now the ship hit the iceberg at 11:40 p.m. So between 11:40 and 12:20, they are trying to contain the waters and just trying to see what they can do. And apparently, because I might think they not because the architect had said it could not sink. So most likely they did not give it much attention. They just ignored because yeah. So by 12:20, the distress call was sent. Now, what was happening by that time? That ship was accompanied by another, I guess, small one that was around, not so near, around 100 and something, 107 kilometers away. Oh, now a distress call is sent to that ship, maybe to just see what they can do, whether they can help. And now, that ship was 107 kilometers away, and the only shortest time they could take to reach where the Titanic was is a minimum of 3 hours. Oh my goodness. Eh, things are getting out of hand. Yeah, so now another ship luckily was spotted just near. But guess what? Edward, Edward did not carry all the communication equipment, so they could not really get them. They were unable to communicate because of failure. I'm trying to think, this ship is so prestigious. Why is it that kuna vitu hakuna, ama ni vile tu, yani tuseme tu ni kichwa ngumu tu, ama just ignorance. Yeah, and McQ, just the same day the Titanic is sinking. This ship was new. It was its first trip, and what was supposed to happen is every day they could carry a drill, a life safety drill. Like in case of an accident, this is what you're supposed to do. In case the ship has a problem, this is what you're supposed to do. So that particular day, they had cancelled their drill. Just they imagine that just everything is okay and there is no need of this drill. So why should we tire ourselves? So the passengers that day had no idea of like what can we do, what are the life jackets do we do, I mean the boats, how do we board the boats, in which order. Yeah, so now at that particular time there was nothing else they could do apart from launching the lifeboats. And now, hey, the the priority was only to be given to women and children. What? You can imagine, labda, you just married. Sorry about that, guys. You can imagine that you just married your sweetheart, you're on board, and now something dangerous is happening, and now you're being told, do you cannot get into the lifeboat. Let your wife and children do first. It was a very sorry state of affair, if I can say. I can. This thing is disturbing me. Sorry about that. Yeah. So now the priority for the lifeboat is given to women and children. What? What? Guys, can you even get the picture? Are you getting the picture? The Titanic now. Yani, tuko ile stage, we don't know what we're gonna do, and it's already imefika ile stage ya now sasa tuanze kuokolea because this thing inaenda kusink. What? Yeah, and priority imepewa women and children because men are just assumed, I don't know, wanassume kukuwa strong ama they can endure ama I don't know. Yeah, so now the passengers waited patiently. Now by this time, it is when those who are in that class sorry, getting the information that something is wrong. Can you imagine? And probably uko kwa entertainment ama uko tu just so vindu vichenja. Those guys who are doing entertainment for the first class people, the passengers, were moved to third class. The third class carried almost half of the crew, not the crew, half of the passengers, because it was big and so many people could only afford the money for the that class. Now, hey, okay, research differ on what song the entertainers were playing. Most of the people say they were singing Nearer to You, God, because now things have gotten out of hand and all that. But I would not comment on that. I'm not sure. Let's say they were just entertaining the passengers and just giving them a message of hope amidst an hopeful situation. Yeah, so now the lifeboats, they started boarding the kids and children. I mean, no, not the kids and oops, the women and children started boarding. I'm just trying to imagine the situation that you are seated as a family, and maybe your kid and your wife have left. Do you know many women had to die because they did not want to leave their men? They died. So at exactly 1 a.m., some male passengers now, they have seen now, at some point maybe they thought ati hawa wakiisha pia wao kuna time yao, and now kimeumana. Now you have to ujipange kimwanaume sasa. So they started forcing their way into the lifeboats for the one that's carrying women and children. So the security forces were forced to fire a gun 3 times, and that is when a research says some people died out of gunshots or whatever. Was they differ? The study, the not the study, the research differs a lot on what happened later. So at this time now, another distress call was made, and this time it was very clear that we are sorry, there is only very little that we can do. We are gonna die. The Titanic is sinking, and actually, there is nothing or very little we can do by the time. And so it is at this point, oh my goodness, that the captain released his crew, telling them, everyone for himself, and thank you so much for helping. But I have to release you because it's time, every man for himself. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So that information is coming at 2 a.m. at night. And at exactly 2:18, the lights of the Titanic went off. What does that mean? What does that mean? Remember, this Titanic had a capacity of 2,200 passengers, and by the time the lights are going off, only 705 passengers were rescued, and mostly were children and women. And guys, this is in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Yeah. So after 2 minutes, that is at 2:20 a.m., the Titanic, no, sorry, at 2:18, by the time the lights went off, it is the same time that the Titanic broke into two parts, with the front parts going underwater, followed by the rest of the parts. And guys, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Can you imagine seeing, maybe you were seated with your wife and kids, the kids and the wife has been rescued, and now you are seeing the wreck going down. It was a very sorry state of affair, but what it happened, we cannot. So it was a wrap. More than 1,500 people died. Now let's come into rescue mission. The Titanic sank at 2:20. Rescue is beginning at 3:30 a.m. Are you even serious? Are you even serious? That is close to an hour, 10 minutes after the ship sank. So, what? Hata kama ni wewe, yani, I mean, just take the passengers who has been rescued when you are kwa lifeboats, and a message was sent now to the company offices, wrapping everything. And guys, this is what the message said. We deeply regret to announce to you that Titanic sank this morning, resulting into serious loss after collision with an iceberg. Further particulars to follow. So, ile time too, the Titanic broke into two parts. It went down with everyone, the captain, the crew, and all that. And the entertainers sang up to the last minute. Some say they were singing Nearer to God. Nearer. How does it go, that song? Nearer. That one. Yeah, so that's all about the Titanic, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and more is coming. Suggest to me what you want us to talk in our comment section, and thank you so much for watching till the end. Till next time, mashallah. Bye bye.